hardest thing they've ever had to deal with? Like, is this something that's like hard for you, or you're like, fuck, I've done harder?
Oh, you froze. You froze.
What
Say
about
it
now?
again.
Sorry.
Say it again.
So is it
No, you're good. Go
like,
ahead.
you know how people have dark times and low lows? Like, would you consider these
Yeah.
like, what's the lowest you've ever been?
Oh man, I don't know. I mean, I've battled with, depression sometimes and anxiety like this. But I think the lowest low for me was I got quite sick after um I forget when that was, a few years back, and couldn't tour, couldn't, had to cut my hair, which I had like long dreads. That was kind of like, part of my identity. I couldn't tour, so like my physical kind of image was taken away from me. Then my like, music thing was taken away from me, and I just felt like I couldn't do anything. I couldn't connect or anything, and just felt like I was in a pretty deep, deep hole, So I think there is that degree for people now too, right? Because a lot of stuff is being taken away. A lot of stuff we're trying to adapt, figure out, okay, well, where do I go from here? So it's kind of like a dark night of the soul. But that was probably my lowest low
How sick were
so
you? Like, what
far.
happened? You had cancer, or?
I had a really bad staph infection that I almost kind of died from because no antibiotics were like working, and like it was wild, man. It was so wild.
What? Like, oh, off a
Um,
cut or something?
yeah, I don't know, man. We were living in Hawaii at the time, and I just got on my leg what looked like a little pimple, and in 24 hours it turned into like a baseball, and it was like spreading throughout my body, and it was not a good thing.
Did you think you
And
were
then
gonna
right
die?
after that, yeah, I totally was like, this is it. This is it. Because when you go into the hospital and they're like, no medicines are working for you, you're like, shit.
What did almost
But
dying
yeah, it
feel
was
like?
pretty.
Like, what were you
I
thinking
mean, I
about in your head
guess
when you were
I was
kind
in
of dying?
so much. I mean, I wasn't thinking really. I was like in so much pain. I was in so much agony that I was just kind of like, I had such a high fever. So I was like kind of in and out of like consciousness. Like, so I wasn't really like, I didn't really realize what was going on until after. And then I had kind of like, PTSD from the whole thing.
Holy fuck, dude.
Yeah. Whoa, we just went in.
Hold on.
Whoa, we
That's
just went in.
crazy. And like, oh, and how long did it take you till you felt comfortable going back on the road?
It took a while. It took me like a good, 3 or 4 months, but I didn't go like right back out on the road. I just played like one show, and it was like, okay, let's just see how we feel after this, type of thing. And then it was like a little later, okay, we'll do like a handful of shows. So it was definitely like a process of trying to like get back in the rhythm, I guess. Uh, yeah.
Holy shit, dude. Fucking shout out to Trevor Hall being alive. Like Tupac. The Tupac of the fucking woke scene over here. Jesus. Let's go. Almost dying like 50 Cent. What the fuck? You're like the 50 of the songbirds, dog. um no, but I'm that's crazy, man. I mean, I've never had a near death
Yeah.
experience. I felt kind of what death could feel like because I took a bunch of DMT, but I was just
Yeah.
I was just hanging out. I was hanging out with my homies. I wasn't dying, but it was. I mean, I don't know, the dopamine. I'd be so nervous. I don't like hospitals in the first place, so I was kind of like, I was
Yeah.
afraid of shots. So like, if I would have had
Yeah.
a fucking lump from a pimple, I'd be with Joan Rivers right now.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Joan. For real. I'd be neurotic. I'm Jewish, dude. I'm Jewish neurotic. Like, what else are you neurotic about? Are you like fearful about your, not career, but like, are you neurotic about just like, do you always have to keep going up a mountain in your career?
No, 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 no. I not with my career. I'm not so neurotic, I guess, in that sense, but I'm definitely way neurotic about other things where you just get stuck on an idea and you just cannot get that out of your head.
Yeah.
If I think somebody's not cool with me, or something like little things like, oh shit, that person hasn't texted me back for like